by Elena Casas. Good morning to you again, Elena. Now, what did the French press have to make of Marine Le Pen's rather surprising showing on the weekend?
Well, that's the headline news, really, isn't it, today? The shadow of Marine Le Pen, as Le Monde puts it on their front page. Now, for them, this election really was an anti-Sarkozy referendum. Whether you're naturally on the right and you voted for Sarkozy in 2007 and now you're completely disappointed with him, or whether you never liked him anyway, this is what motivated people to come out and vote at the weekend. They say it's disgust, effectively. They go that far with the current government that pushed people into voting for the Front National. It's people who feel that they've been let down by this government, that it only effectively supported the rich. That's what they feel Sarkozy has done while in power. So it's poorer people, people on low incomes, people who feel, they say, that the French system isn't helping them and that the candidates weren't talking about the subjects that concern them, the economy, unemployment and so on, that pushed people to go and vote for the Front National, at least according to Le Monde. Now, of course, this makes it rather difficult for either of the two candidates left in the race, both of whom are candidates of what the Front National would call the system, established political parties, to try and win over those voters if this really is a plague on all your houses kind of vote that motivated them to pick the Front National. That isn't, of course, going to stop Nicolas Sarkozy from trying, the paper points out. He's already gone for a further right-wing tone in speeches made since the votes came in on Sunday night, and they reckon he's going to go even further in this direction. For his campaign team, Le Monde says the Front National doing very well effectively validates the strategy that they've been going for since at least February, which is to put subjects like immigration and halal meat at the centre of the campaign because they wanted to win over those very right-leaning voters. Of course, for those on the left, like the communist paper L'Humanité, it's Sarkozy's fault that Marine Le Pen did so well. They've got a black front page here, and the headline, Sarkozy chooses the door on the extreme right. Now, for them, if he hadn't put those subjects in the centre of the campaign, then Marine Le Pen wouldn't have done so well. Voters turned round and said, well, if this is the copy that we're being sold by the UMP, then we might as well vote for the original.
So, Elena, why did people vote for Marine Le Pen in that case? What explanations are you reading in the press?
Well, there's a couple of interesting articles on the website Slate, one looking exactly at the economic motivations behind this, saying that people don't necessarily vote for the Front National because it's immigration that makes them angry, or because they're racist, they say. They vote for them because they're angry against political elites who they feel have profited the country at their own expense and are then making ordinary people who didn't cause this economic crisis pay for it. Of course, Sarkozy has become most well known as president of the rich, and those on very low incomes feel that in 2007 he promised them, if you remember, that if they worked harder and more hours, then they'd earn more. They've seen the opposite. They've seen their incomes decline, especially for young people. They feel, especially those on low incomes who don't have many qualifications, they feel that they won't ever be able to reach the living standards of their parents because, of course, the French welfare system makes it so hard to fire people that it then makes it very difficult for employers, or makes them reluctant, rather, to hire more younger people, and as a result you end up with these young people who are blocked out of the economic system. And it's that frustration, at least according to Slate, that causes them to vote for the Front National. She didn't actually do quite as well, Marine Le Pen, among young people as some polls had predicted. They predicted she would come top among 18 to 25-year-old voters. It was actually Hollande that came top, but she came second. So they say it's clearly young people have got this sense of frustration. Libération, inside of Libération, they talked to a sociologist who also says that the way that Marine Le Pen has changed her party's image has been very important. Her younger, fresher, more approachable image has helped her step away from the anti-Semitic extremes of her father and made it easier for women, especially low-income women, to vote for Marine Le Pen.
So Sarkozy really going all guns blazing, trying to get his hands on those Front National votes. What are the papers saying about his chances in that second round?
Well, Le Figaro, the right-wing paper, reckons that the right can believe again. That's effectively because they've done the maths and added up that if you add the Front National voters to Sarkozy's, you've got more voters on the right than on the left, and that for those people, naturally, they should be voting pragmatically for Sarkozy in the second round because at least he's addressing the problems that concern the people who vote for the Front National, unlike Hollande. Of course, the maths, though, isn't quite as straightforward as all that. La Croix points out on its front page, which is dedicated to second-round strategy, in its editorial, they say that there's absolutely no guarantee that those people who voted for the Front National will pick Sarkozy. If anything, they might even choose Hollande if it's the economy that's made them angry.
All right. Lots of excitement there in the press, as usual. Thank you very much indeed, Elena Casas. Let's get a quick check of our top stories again here on France 24. The two